Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about classic ANTHRAX Indians. Alright, that was Indians, one of my all-time favorite thrash metal, speed metal songs. Really good exercise for your right hand also. So I'm gonna go through the gear I used and a little bit what they used back in the day as far as I know, and then a kind of lesson of the song, because it's really good, like I said, really good exercise for, you know, stamina, accuracy, and everything. Small little things there, you know, which makes, I mean, Skyian is great rhythm player. But the gear I'm using, this is a ESP Mirage custom from 80s, you know, original, you know, the real deal, neck through. I upgraded a bit, so I put it the FU tones, block and stopper and noiseless springs. And it's original Floyd Rose with drop tuner, EVH drop tuner, original pickups, ESPs, whatever rail pickups they are. I think these are like stacked humbuckers. I just got it, bought this. I will do a video about this later. And I haven't yet decided if I keep these or if I put EMGs. But so far this seems to work pretty fine. The guitar is in E flat. The original Indians is in E. But I wanted to use this, and this is in E flat, so that's why I did it. Absolutely fantastic neck through guitar, like, to be honest, probably, if not the best, one of the best guitars I've ever played. Great guitar. Then the signal went to Bus SD-1. Skyian used I think he used TC Electronics kind of overdrive. I can't remember the name. I'll put a picture there. I'll check from internet what it was. And JCM800 2203 from 1984, also known as the bad boy. Skyian used 800s in the 80s and probably in the early 90s as well. And if I understood correct, he played the rhythms, or plays the rhythms on ANTHRAX albums. I think Danny Spitz used boogies in the 80s, and then in the 90s, at least at some point, he used a JCM900 SLX, which is basically like 800, but with an extra PF tube. So, you know, you can get more gain out of it. And that's the amp stuff. Then I used a Marshall vintage 1960 BV cabinet. I believe Skyian used a JCM800 cabinet. I think he had a classic 80 or some speakers, but mine are the Marshall vintage speakers. And I used 4 microphones. So the left guitar, when I filmed myself and played the solo, that was 2 SM57s in the Fredman style. And then right after I doubled the right rhythm guitar, and that was the same cabinet, but Sennheiser's E906 and MD421 microphones. Then the intro melody, I used actually the Little Brother, which is an 800 from 85. It has EL34s. This has 6550s, because, you know, in the 80s, the 800s that were shipped and sold in the States, they had 6550s. So I assume that Skyian's 800 has 6550s. At least it sounded, you know, at least to me, the best in this situation. And then just a little bit different flavor to the intro harmony melody with the EL34 one, SD-1 in front. That was the gear. And then the solo, I added a Eventide H3000 plugin, just a little bit. And then I used a Lexicon PCM70 with a pant delays preset on the solo. You know, that's from 84, 85, so very 80s, you know, great multi-effect delay, reverb, whatnot unit. And that was it. The drums were done by Devin James from Iron Stronghold Productions. He actually plays drums on my solo album, but he does these MIDI packs too, where he, you know, you can buy them. I'll put a link in the description below. Fantastic stuff. And then I routed the MIDI from Superior Drummer, like multi-outs, completely raw, like full bleed, like real drums, and then I mixed the drums like real drums. The bass was my ESP LTD Phoenix, and I used a Boograins bass knob and Soft Tube's Murder 1, the Lemmy Kilmister, for the clank. So it's mainly the bass knob, then I blended in a little bit of that clank, clank, clank clanky sound with the Murder 1. That was the bass sound, and you know, pretty simple. 2 rhythm guitars, hard left, hard right, then the 2 melody guitars, and then when I played the solo, you heard there was 2 rhythm guitars, so I just played the, you know, rhythm guitar behind the solo, second one, when, you know, because I can't play solo and rhythm guitar at the same time. So that's the sound, and you know, the mix in all its simplicity. What I have now is I have the same cabinet and both mic settings. So I'm summing them with radials 2 to 1 summing box. So I see 2 mics, I see 1, you know, waveform. Now I see 2 because I have the Frameline style 57s and then blended in a little bit of the Sennheiser duo. So it sounds like this. Pretty cool sound, right? Kind of the bad boy has that. So I listened to the original recording. The mix was it was a little bit drier and not as, you know, full and bass heavy sounding. But I tried to kind of keep the vibe, but still make it well, like I would mix it. So, but the lesson, because this is really good. Scotty Ian to me he's kind of like what Angus Young is to rock metal, and Scotty Ian is to kind of thrash and speed metal. Yes, James Hetfield, Dave Mustaine too. Let me go through a couple of the riffs. The intro melody, you know, it's pretty basic. Then there's a harmony. And then when the kind of rhythm guitars come in, play this simple riff. And then 1 step higher. So the rhythm guitar, the melody guitars do. Then 1 step higher. And the harmony. Cool. And then the song starts with a really fast riff, and it's the way Scott picks it. I checked some videos because I was like, he can't downpick everything, and surely enough he didn't, because this is so fast. So he kind of accents the kind of the chords, and this is all 5th chords, power chords. That's it. And he kind of, so let me play this. So it's kind of like, at least the way I kind of have the dee-doo-dee-you kind of flow in there. And then this. I checked the video of some live footage, and Scott played it like he started on an upstroke. And the chords were downstroke here, so it kind of switches. Sometimes the chords are upstroke, but in this the kind of the E pedal point is upstroke and the chords are downstroke. And then the main riff, it's upstrokes, the chords, and the E palm muted kind of pedal point, that's downstroke. Except that. Because then you end this on a downstroke and then comes upstroke. So it's very, when you think about it, you don't need to like, you know, down, 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 up, up, up. It's constantly goes, and it's actually quite easy to play then. Just, you know, keep your hand relaxed by the side. Okay, and then there's the fast riff, and then the kind of pre-chorus. And this, how I pick downstrokes, so the first chords up, and then the and then again, this is down, then you start this with an upstroke. Cool. Then the chorus, that's kind of again fifth chord. So slowly. And then kind of I do a slide down, and then again this starts with an upstroke. Cool. And you probably heard on my version, after the war dance, the mosh part, the tempo, or before the war dance mosh part, the tempo goes down, and then it gradually goes up. So I programmed the click, because the MIDI drums follow that. Because on the recording, I don't think they use the click, because the tempo is pretty all over the place. Especially it slows a lot, and then it gradually speeds up. So the third verse after the mosh part, it's quite a lot slower than the previous what they played. So I did that too. Obviously, I just by ear, you know, tune the tempo so that it gradually goes. And then when the last pre-chorus comes, it's again on the same tempo that it was pre the mosh part. So, and the mosh part it's pretty cool. It's like this. So slowly. then when belladonna starts to sing, they palm mute these chords. They play it like this. Then comes the solo and the rhythm guitar behind it. Chromatic stuff. And the solo, I think it was pretty close what Danny Speech plays. So the way I see it is well, actually I was thinking that I kind of play in G minor, like. That's Aeolian, G Aeolian. But this is again kind of like Phrygian. So when I figured this out, I was like, okay, probably Phrygian, whatever. I'm just gonna, you know, listen what he does. It's basically the same shape. Then you start here. Then it changes a bit. And then trill. Then here it's something like. Again, I was thinking kind of play in G minor. And this kind of, again, like in G minor, kind of passing tones. I think he plays it a little bit different. I think he continues, but I just figured this sounded cool. Then he kind of follows the. Or you can play it. I actually, when I recorded, I played the other guitar here, the E here, and then the other here. So he kind of follows the rhythm, like. The way I think about it is first I play B minor pentatonic, then E minor, first box, again B, octave higher, and then like that. And then it's, yeah, I think I showed you. And the ending is just like. I think the other guitar, at least the way I did it. So yeah, that's Indians, and if you're not familiar, check out. I mean, Anthrax, they're still alive and kicking among the living. It was actually the first CD I ever bought. I had it on vinyl, no, C cassette, but it was so worn out. Then I bought the CD. Remember, the CD sounded quite thin because this is early 90s what we're talking about. So I think they made the CD from a vinyl master, and vinyl you need to master it differently. You can't put that much low end because it just doesn't work. But since vinyl sounds warmer and fuller, you know, from the get-go, it sounds good. So I remember I was like, this sounds weird. I think they remastered it now for CD and for digital use. So my first CD ever. I was 15 when I bought that. Obviously, I had the album because I think it came in '88. Actually, the same year than this. This is either '87 or '88 because they didn't put serial numbers back in the day. But yeah, Scott Ian, to me, he's what Malcolm Young is to AC/DC. Absolutely, really tight, percussive player, and see, these rhythms are really like rhythmical. Part of the reason is that Charlie Benanti, ANTHRAX drummer, he's also a guitar player, so he actually writes a lot of stuff too. If I've understood correctly, it's basically Charlie and Scott who writes the music. So ANTHRAX is kind of in general a lot of power chords and this percussive stuff, which is really, really fun to play. Hey, that was Indians. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Happy practicing, playing and so on. Until next time, take care. Bye.